how easy it is to cook into it. It's not done yet, so it needs a little bit more. Now, I am delaying adding the tomato. Why? Why do we add the tomato at the end? Because whenever you add anything sour to any vegetables, whether it's potato and beans, whether it's potato and eggplant, whether it's potato and drumsticks, whether it's potato and cauliflower, or any vegetable that you're cooking, whenever you add sour, such as tamarind, such as tomato, such as citric acid, such as
lime,
any of these, it slows down the cooking. So you need to make sure that your vegetables are more cooked, unless you're adding gravy. If you're adding water to it and it's going to boil anyway, then you need to make sure that you add the tomato first in the gravy, so you have no choice. But if you're actually making a dry stir fry like this, then it's better that you add the tomato all the way at the end. This doesn't need tomato. It's just that my husband likes to have tomato in his food, so we add it at the end. So once this is done, you could say this dish is ready. Some people find tomato harder to digest in their food, so if you find it harder, then don't put the tomato in. This is going to be ready just as it is, with the delicious when we put in, with the ajwain, carom seeds, with the ginger, with the hing, So you have a lot of different things to cut the gas. You have the potato to add flavor. You have the onion to add flavor. So, you have quite a few things. Now, at the end, we're going to add in all of this, and we're going to stir it up with the coriander. Now, personally, I would add in not just this much, but maybe another pile, another half of this.
You can chop some.
You can chop some more. So you go ahead and chop some more. And right, okay. So yeah, you can go ahead and chop the rest, and we'll wait for this to cook. Just to show you the fire, it's not on high, it's on low. I have it on about 3, okay? So it's not high at all. Okay, so we'll just wait for Mark to cut the coriander. Yeah, guys, we had geese in our house just yesterday. It's amazing the wildlife that has started to come here. We had it in the first 2 weeks of the lockdown, and then they disappeared. And yesterday they came up again. So it's really been wonderful, It's good. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask? Because this is a good time to ask any questions.
Margot is also there.
Yeah, Margot, Monica,
Shruti is also.
Shruti is also there. Okay. Okay. Ganshu, anybody? Any questions?
Oh, I couldn't find my unmute. You did a really good job. Thank you. I think I'm good. Thanks.
You're good? Okay, you got it. Okay, wonderful. I'm happy I was able to make your request, Monica, because I think, this is a very simple Indian dish, but it's a favorite. It's something that if you're going to public, you definitely want to get one cauliflower every week, whether you put it in a soup or you put it in a curry or you make it stir-fried like this. Can you see now? Let me show you the onions. Okay, take a look. Can you see the onions in pieces? I purposely cut them into big pieces. So when you eat this, you're going to have that crunchiness. Okay. Yeah. So let me check the potato again. Okay. Now the potato is getting cut very easily. Here, I'll just take another piece and show you. Okay. So just watch. See, it's getting cut very easily, very nicely. Okay, and the cauliflower as well. It's not so hard. Now, if you like your vegetables more crunchy, then, keep them more crunchy. If you like them more cooked, then keep them more cooked. So now the vegetables are ready. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little space, and I'm going to mound up the vegetables over my tomato. So here's my tomato. This is 2 Roma tomatoes. And now what I do, this is a strategy that I learned from my mom and the family at home. Yeah. Yeah, I learned both of them. So you just mount the vegetable over the tomato, and you can't even see the tomato because the vegetable is covering it. And what does that allow it to do? Well, the tomato makes it a little more juicy for one, and you want the tomato now to soften. Okay, you want the tomato to soften and cook. So Mark has finished chopping another batch of cilantro, and this is almost done now. If I had to plate it, I would probably, are you going to eat now?
Why not?
You want roti or you want
I'll
rice?
make the rotis.
No, but you want rice or roti?
I'll have it with roti.
Okay, so I'll just plate it with rice for now, okay, so that you can see how you would eat it. All right, so let me just warm up the rice. I'm going to keep this camera here. Okay. Let me just get the rice and warm it up. Okay, so I'm warming up the rice and I'll get a plate so that you guys can see. You could put the rice on one side and the vegetable on the other side, or you could put the rice at the bottom and put the vegetable on top, and then serve the vegetable on one side and the yogurt on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to bring the rice once it's warmed up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so while we're waiting for the rice, let me show you the other two things that I had shown in the video. So we know the ajwain or carom seed. We know the hing or asafoetida for cutting gas. We know the ginger. Another thing that helps cut gas, you can buy these digestives in Indian store. They may be, another thing that cuts is fennel. This one is made with asafoetida. It's called pachak hingfera. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance to put any of these digestives in the food, you can eat one of these afterwards. So you can just go to the store and ask for some digestives. Another great digestive is fennel. So you can keep a combination. This is prashad. And in the prashad, I have the prashad from India, as well as some cardamom. And you can buy some fennel and keep a combination of this prashad sugar and fennel seed, and just have some fennel after your meal. It's sometimes a little bit hard to just have fennel, it dries your mouth, so we put a few of these Indian sugar things in it. Cardamom also helps. We also have another kind of cardamom, which I will show you, which you can also add to the food at the beginning as a digestive, okay? So I'm going to turn it around and show you. Okay, so this is my jar of large cardamom. Oh, I'm going to pull one out. And maybe you could take two of these. And if you want, just pound them. This is my mortar and pestle. Pound them. And then you would just, you see the seeds in the middle? So you usually put large cardamom in cooking. You don't put the small one. You put the small one in the tea. So I could just put it in here now. It doesn't matter. You can even, yeah, okay, just keep it there. So I could put it in now as well, you know, so I'm just putting in the cardamom, and there's a little bit more. Mark, just get out of my way. Let me get to it. There's a little bit more in here. So I'm just going to pull it all out. Okay. All right. So this is also another digestive aid. You see, we Indians, we do make delicious food, but we also know how to make sure that it doesn't disturb our digestive system so that we can eat it peacefully, you know, and still be able to carry on with our lives and with our day. So now you can see the juicy tomato. And the tomato is getting nicely mushed up. And it's still juicy. It hasn't gone dry. So that's what we want. We want the tomato to still be juicy. And now, Mark, if you could add in the cilantro, leave a little bit just to garnish on top on the table, and put all the rest in except for a tiny bit. So he's putting in all the cilantro except a little bit, which if you were to serve it on the table, you would leave a little bit to sprinkle on top when you are. Now add the cilantro right at the end because it gets, it kind of, how do you say sofa in English? It shrinks. It shrinks, yeah. It wilts, yeah. It wilts. You see what a beautiful color you have now in here. You have and the smell of the food. How is the smell, Mark?
Oh, it's delicious. The aroma is terrific. The
Yeah.
color is very rich because you've got the yellow from the turmeric, you've got the red from the tomato, and you've got the green from the coriander or cilantro. You know, and here and there you can still see some of the purple onions. So,
Yeah,
very
so
nice
it looks good.
combination,
Okay.
Very aromatic.
So,
very
and he's
appealing.
left a little bit of cilantro to serve so that you can serve it when you put it on the table. So now, Mark, if you could take the camera, I'll just plate it for them. No. Abhinay. Oh, you've done it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have two different plates here. We'll show you. Mark, put your plate here also. Okay. So Mark has warmed up his roti.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rotis here.
Yeah. And so we would take some, and just, here, take the camera. So you could plate, you could also have some lentils with this. You could put a bowl of yogurt to the side of that, you know. You could just make a complete meal out of just cauliflower, potato, and it has the tomato and
And
onion.
can I have some of the garnish on top?
Yeah, and then you would garnish with some cilantro. And if you want, you could put a bowl of yogurt on the side. So for me, what I would do is, I like using Chinese spoons to eat. So this rice is warmed up. Oh, too much rice. Okay, so the rice is warmed up. Okay, and you would take the rice, put off the fire, and I would place this to one side, and then what I like to do is take some of the yogurt, and I would put the yogurt on top of the
Rice.
rice on the other side. Or if I had dal, I would put dal on the other side. And voila, both your dishes are ready, and you're all set to go. Mark, do you want to take a photo of that? You can take a photo of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just. Oh no, this is not my camera. This is Zoom. Yeah, so I can't take a photo. It's okay. All right, so we have here. I don't know, Marm, if you can take a photo from there, if you can take a screenshot. So I'm focusing on the roti and the vegetable. And here we have a little bit of rice and the vegetable, cauliflower and yogurt. And so these are the ways that you would serve it. And I think we're done. We're done. We're complete. And if anybody has any questions before we close, let me know. If not, I think.
Say thank you to
Yes.
Marm for hosting this
Yeah,
session.
thank you very much to Marm for hosting this.
Thank you both.
Yes.
You did a lovely
thank you.
job. I look forward to your doll presentation next time.
Okay, which kind of dal do you like? Do you have a preference, the orange one or the yellow one?
Any of them are fine. There's a dark one too. There's a brown doll too, right? The
Yeah,
brown
the
lentil?
brown one is actually, you know, the minute you go in with the skins, now we're talking beans. So
Okay.
although it's a lentil, you have green, you have the green one, you have the black one, you have the brown one. All of those are harder to digest. So those same ones, the brown one, for example, is actually the orange one. When you take the skin off, it becomes the orange one. It's called masoor dal. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so I'll work with 1 or 2 dals in the course of my cooking. Okay, so you'll have an opportunity to see all of them, or quite a few of them in any case. Okay. Any other comments or any other questions?
Thank you.
No?
It was wonderful.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank
See
you,
you
everyone.
next week.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mark.
Yeah, see you next Monday.
Bye, Monica.
And put your preferences for next Monday on the group, and we'll decide what to cook. Thank you. Bye.
Fun. Thank you, Dayu. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay.